It's weird because this one really hurt. It hurt bad. I was out in the pool cleaning it up to put it away for the year. It's got a hole in the top section, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, I was on my hands and knees in the pool cleaning it, and I got whacked in the back. Guess they don't like my investigations. And I'll so it's what is it here today? Wednesday, the 26th at about 4:10 p.m. Tuesday, Duluth, Minnesota. You know, I was just actually investigating Lindsay Clancy, I guess a young woman that was hearing voices and killed her children. And sure enough, you know, she lived her last, next to the last address, somebody there lived in the state of Washington, and then that address, there was a plethora actually that were here in Minnesota, and once they were back in Minnesota, you know, I immediately tied them back. Actually tied them back, well, you know, to Duluth and right to, you know, the same people, same names, but, and then, you know, I can take a different routes, and it's people that, you know, live like almost next door to my mom when she was alive in St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin, and it goes to all these same little towns, St. Croix Falls and Siren and Danbury and Gordon, Wisconsin, and Lake Nebagamon, and then, you know, I have the group up in Silver Bay, and look at that, isn't that ugly? Isn't that awful where we are at in humanity, that they're torturing and killing people for profit, I guess. It's just awful what's happening in the United States of America. So, you know, what's the truth? So then, yeah, that gal, I can see that, you know, like she had somebody sharing her phone number. I mean, did she know him? What? Did she know that she was even sharing her phone number? And he was military. He was from Randolph Air Force Base, which, you know, I've seen come into my infrasound detector. And then, you know, I believe that, you know, the Washington address was all, you know, military people. I see, you know, the AFO or AFB or whatever, the acronyms for military behind lots of people's names. And you can just tell. And then these investigations, the people search an address, you know, it tells a story, and it shows how these people are, you know what I mean? I can go to a Duluth address and it's, you know, 50 people, and none of them were barely original from my area. You know, they're Florida, they're Puerto Rico, they're Connecticut, they're Texas, they're all over, you know, and I'm, you know, I've done enough that I have a statistical analysis, a handle on what's happening and how this is working, these networks of people that are killing for profit. And this is a violation of the Nuremberg Code. If they're doing it on government orders, the Nuremberg Code says conscience supersedes the authority of law and state. So, you know, this is history. And, you know, I'm just, you know, she was hearing voices, and my daughter's hearing voices. And my sister was hearing voices in the 80s, and she was dead at age 34 in 94 in an assisted living. How'd she die? How did my sister die? And, you know, they've stolen my daughter's life. She has she never had a chance. I believe I'm generational. I didn't have a chance. And then, you know, they're acting like we did something wrong when they've manipulated and coerced and orchestrated and lied and sneaked throughout our entire lives. And I'll tell you what, you click on these people's, and everybody's got nice houses and, you know, tons of businesses and LLCs and corporations, and everybody's got, you know, you know, not everybody, but you know, it's more often than that. Someone's got, you know, LLCs and inks and orgs and this and that. And, you know, my early investigations, everybody open corporate numbers would trace route to Banana Pay in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Banana Pay, which is a global, money pay service to like India, and they, they wiped that. I can't do it anymore, but, this is the deal. Look at that. That's icky. That's icky. It hurt. That hurt. All right, I gotta finish cleaning my pool. I'm documenting this silent Holocaust. Again, it's not just happening to me. 90% of the people this is happening to have no idea. They're saying I have bad luck. I don't feel well. They're going to the doctor, and this is what's happening. And it's more often than not, it's the people closest to you somehow. You definitely need boots on the ground. So, documenting non-consensual network surveillance, biometric exploitation, the body data is currency, slow kill profit, mission and enterprise, rampant across the United States. It's no rule of law. It's societal collapse. It's history. It's gross. These hurt. These hurt. All right. My entire family on the OFAC watch list with the likes of Osama bin Laden, the biggest fraudulent money laundering scheme in history. Over and out. Minnesota.